everybody, I'm Dr. Michael Nusbaum.
And I'm Dr. Daria, Klachko, Totten.
And welcome to
HealthTalks.
So, I wanted to talk a little bit today about a cancer screening test that I came across that we actually offer here in the office. I've done it twice now. I did it when it first came out. I just did it again, so that was a couple years later.
Okay.
It's called Grail. It's by a company called Galleri. They're pretty innovative. They're from Silicon Valley.
Okay.
I think it was a startup a couple years back. But basically, it's a blood test that is early detection for over 50 different types of cancers. I think it actually has gone up since then.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So taking a blood sample?
You take a blood sample. They're looking for certain markers.
Okay.
And the markers are kind of, the way I understand it, is like the cancers kind of elude certain factors that are then easily detectable in the blood. Not every cancer. So I think the ones that they are not so good at are thyroid, because you have that thyroid membrane.
Okay.
Brain cancers, because you have the blood-brain barrier.
Okay.
But obviously for both of those cancers, if the cancer breaks through like the dura, so it's now metastatic, or the thyroid breaks through the capsule and it's outside of it, it's going to pick it up.
So
right?
these are kind of markers of different cancers that might be some proteins that they're
I think
screening.
It's methylated ends that they're actually looking for. But for those of us who are getting older in life, I'm older, over 50, they really do recommend that to actually take a look and see what's going on. And honestly, it's peace of mind. I have a lot of patients who come in, they're very nervous about cancer, and this is a way to kind of try to find out if you have it and detect it really early. And I heard some really interesting stories. Like I heard about and this is what kind of got me interested in this one. There was a doctor who I guess did the test on his own. He wanted to bring it into the office, and he was traveling, I believe, to Maryland to see his son who was at Johns Hopkins. And from what I understand about the story is that the test came back positive for tongue cancer.
Oh, wow.
He was like, well, he wasn't a smoker. I think drank, but I think drank socially. He's like, well, wow, this is crazy. So he's at Johns Hopkins, figured I may as well go to like one of the top ENTs down here and see. They couldn't find it. And he went back to them and said, look, you don't understand. I just did a test. The test showed that it was positive. And the ENT looked even further and then found a little something that turned out to be a cancer.
That's
so
amazing.
Got it really early. And that convinced me. I was like, okay, I want to go ahead and do it. And thank God my first test was negative.
Oh, you did do it?
I did a couple of years ago.
Wow, okay.
And I just did it again, so we'll see.
That's a question though, like how, so if you do one, right?
How often?
You might develop cancer in a year or two and not
I wouldn't do it any more than annually. I think every other year is probably sufficient.
Safe.
It's not cheap. I mean, it is kind of expensive to do the test. It's $1,250 to actually do the test, but it's peace of mind.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it replaces colonoscopy and other screening tests, but
it sounds like an add-on to those tests. So doing your preventative health screening until we find out more about this test. I guess it's kind of relatively new.
It is, and I think it's great. I mean, it's not covered by insurance yet, but my understanding is the company is looking to actually get it covered by insurance.
And then what do you do with the false positives? I'm sure there's
a
false positive.
Good question.
Right?
So as soon as you get a positive result, they actually send you another test for free, and they'll repeat the test to try to make sure that that was actually a true positive.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess the moral there, takeaway is, if you get a positive on your first test, don't panic.
Yeah.
They're going to repeat the test. If the test is repeated, it comes back positive, you need to get that worked up and see what's going on.
And I guess there's ways to see, like if something's coming back positive for a certain type of cancer, you can get tests to look at that area.
Absolutely. And I think that's what that one doctor did.
He went biopsy test.
Absolutely. He went, had an ENT look, and sure enough, they found something. So
very interesting.
I'm doing it. I think it's a great idea. It's by Galleri. It's Grail, like isn't the Holy Grail. And I recommend it. I'm doing it myself. We do it here at the office. So if there's something that you're concerned about, there is an option out there.
Yeah, look it up, read about it, talk to your docs, see if that's something that you might be interested in.
And they did not pay us for this. This is actually, I'm just bringing this to you guys because I'm doing it myself, and I think it's actually a great idea.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds awesome.
Well, I'm Dr. Michael Nussbaum.
Dr. Daria, Totten.
And thanks for joining us at
Health Talks.